Hello? Hello, can y'all hear me? Do I sound good? I think I do. I don't know. I got a new mic. We're going to test this out. Listen, let's get straight to the point. I have been wanting to review One Piece chapters for the longest time now, but I kept holding myself back. I was like, oh my gosh, all my friends, my girlfriend, they're not caught up yet. And I can't do that. They support me. They're just going to click on the video. They're going to get spoiled. And then I realized a lot of my friends are anime only anyway. So I missed out on reviewing the Nika chapter for absolutely no reason. So I decided, it's time to take things into my own hands and, start reviewing things, get my foot into it, get my feet wet, what they say, and try my hand. So without further ado, let's get into it. I got my oatmeal here. I'm nice and ready to review. So I think the first thing we should talk about is definitely the cover story. The cover story was interesting to me. I didn't see Gangster Gastino Caesar to be joining up with German 66. I technically still don't see it happening. It might just be a gag thing that ends up happening. I specifically don't see the kids of Germa 66, the kids of Judge, taking him in for absolutely no reason. In my mind, they don't really care about him unless it's Judge's order to take him in. So it might be something that they like kick him away and then they report what they saw to Judge and then Judge orders them to go back and grab him. Something like that. Or he just comes onto the ship, he floats onto the ship and like begs to get away with them. And Judge says okay. But other than that, I don't really see, Reiju, Ichiji, Niji, or any of them to take him in like that. But that's neither here nor there. I think that spells a powerful, disastrous combo regardless if they do come together, because one's a mad scientist for like no reason, just the pleasure of being evil, I guess, and then the other is a scientist for war. So if you put those two together, it spells a lot of dangerous things. I don't like the sound of that. I don't know what that spells for the future of One Piece. But that's not the most important thing. Let's move on. We see immediately the Holy Land Mary Joy. And the five Elder Stars are bugging out. They realize that Nika has emerged. Two emperors are down. They don't even have a way to get into Wano anymore. And it seems like, by the way they're stating, Zou is the key to open up the borders, because they literally say, are you certain the elephant's gone? Yes, it wandered into the mist. Just what was that? And then they say, so the borders are staying closed for now. That means Wano is still almost impenetrable. It's almost as if the elephant being there was the only way to open up the borders. How? I don't know. But the way they talk further on makes them speak of Momonosuke as though he's like a genius for being able to do that, like he has mad guile, like they say. That's really something to think about, because I didn't think that it would be Zou that put the borders down. I was under the assumption that Luffy taking down Kaido, punching him, and Big Mom also falling all the way down into that lava area and having that volcano splurge out, I was under the impression that was going to have a much bigger impact on the land of Wano surrounding everything, and that might make a landform that fell down off of the cliff where the waterfall is, or maybe off to the side, maybe not the same area where the waterfall is, but off to the side somewhere else on another direction, maybe on the southern border or whatever, in which case that would create a pathway leading into Wano. Nah, I guess we got Zou. I was thinking too hard. It's all good though. Now the next thing we see, the Elder Stars telling the CP0 agent, whose name we still haven't gotten yet, to essentially get the agents to capture Nico Robin. But somebody hijacks the signal, and I didn't realize that's what that was. Even though it was like being said, I thought it was really the CP0 agent. But I guess I'm just stupid, because it's definitely neither of them. It's somebody talking over the airlines, hijacking the signal, saying, listen up, stay where you are, I'm on my way. And it can definitely be the person who is at the end of the chapter. People are saying it's Caribou. I think it's a little bit far-fetched to say that, just because while he might be able to benefit by presenting them Robin. My cat is on my table. Gosh darn it. While it is a reward possibly for Caribou to present Robin to CP0, maybe to the Five Elder Stars, he can possibly gain from that. I don't think it's likely. He has a lot of information that he can give to CP0. However, I just don't think he would. I don't think he has access to just hack a signal like that. That would just be coming out of nowhere, for one. And for two, his cover story, I want to say, made him a little bit more of a better person. I could be wrong about that entirely. But with everything going on, it is likely he could possibly get the upper hand on Ramen. I even doubt that. But it's just so unlikely. It's so unlikely. Moving on, we see Hawkins and Drake meeting together. They both looking like they're beat up to exhaustion, to the brink of death, and their talk kind of displays the paths that they were set upon, and they kind of just lay everything out. Like Hawkins goes, Drake, you were a Marine dog this whole time, and Drake goes to Hawkins, I thought those cards promised you'd be safe if you stuck with Kaido. You look as bad as I do. And it's how both of them ended up double crossing the certain people that they've been with from the start. Hawkins reveals at the end that he was the 1% man, but he didn't want to go back to Kid. That kind of displays another thing as well, because whatever happened with him and Kid, he was so against crawling back to him. He was so against Kid's ways, it feels like. It's either that or he had too much pride to go to the other side. And that's kind of cool. You see his pride getting in the way of literally his life. You see he has flaws of his own that he couldn't even get past, which looks like cost him his life. So that's something crazy. Like I didn't expect to see one of our worst generation go down, especially like Hawkins. I didn't expect his fight to be that like serious for him. Like Killer did put a number on him, but like I really thought he'd be okay. I thought he'd find some like new voodoo dolls to take the damage for him, but we see that he passes away. Well, it's implied that he passes away. We don't know for sure, but it's very likely. We move on. We see the Flower Capital. I love and hate this part. I love what we see, but okay. So it's not that I love and hate. It's just that there's so many things that we missed possibly on the 7-day time skip. We don't know what really happened to Kaido and Big Mom. We don't know what was going on with Zoro, and we definitely have no clue what the heck was going on with Big Mom's pirate crew. Where were they? That's my thing. Because of there being a 7 days after time skip, it makes me believe the only reason the Big Mom crew was there was to pick Big Mom up after a loss. So it could be essentially that they got spewed out of the volcano. Maybe Big Mom survived. Maybe they both survived. Maybe only Big Mom survived. I don't know. Either way, I can see the both of them on the ship getting away. Other than that, I have absolutely no idea what the point of Big Mom's ship being there was, besides to carry Big Mom herself. But she could have just gotten there by herself. So I really don't understand what the purpose was unless they're taking her home as we speak. But other than that, the chapter is amazing for what they show. You know, they show the history lessons being retaught. And that's something actually super important, because I was under the impression, like literally rewatching this part the other day where they're teaching how evil Odin and Nine Scabbards were. I was like, if they don't address this later, these kids can seriously like grow up to resent Momonosuke and the Kozuki clan, almost alluding back to like the Fishman Island kind of days, where Arlong was teaching the kids how bad humans were, and they were just raised on that belief. And although nothing was really done to them, they became as bad as we saw. And so that's why this little page itself is just so important. I really do appreciate that. And everybody is being retaught, everybody's eating, everybody's drinking clean water, everybody's talking about Kozuki Hiyori, talking about Kyoshiro, talking about Momonosuke, talking about Joy Boy, referring to him as Joy Boy. That is so impressive to me. I didn't expect Momonosuke to get that rumor started, because think about it, that's literally the only way it could have gotten started, unless King is like lurking somewhere. We don't know where any of Kaido's crew is. So that's also another thing. They talk about how Joy Boy rivals Ryuma. So they're putting him on that level. Like he's getting that recognition now. And then we move quickly over to the new shrine in Ringo. This was something I didn't really pick up until literally once again rewatching the episode where Kaido literally blasts the original shrine to pieces. I didn't even think about that yes, it is also important to establish a new place for Oden to be put to rest, as well as the comrades that have fallen. So Yasuie is remembered here, and as well we get the confirmation that Ashura Doji and Izo are passed away. They have fallen. And I really didn't think Izo was gonna be down like that. I was surprised. Like, I knew they were struggling, but they still felt like they were putting up a good fight. They still looked like they had a lot left in them. But lo and behold, the battle with CP0, it was really a trade-off. We see, and it's crazy too, we see like as they're talking about all the fallen comrades, we see that Marco is having, like, you know, they're all in mourning. And so when you're in mourning, you reveal those like darker thoughts. And so he drops this like, dang, I've been left behind once again. Like, everybody's like dying around me, and everybody like that's there, Kawamatsu and Kinemon, they're both in agreement. They're like, yeah, we understand. Like, it's how it happens in this world. Like, people go and you're left behind. If another one of us is taken, I don't know if I could take. Is that foreshadowing? That might be foreshadowing. I don't like that, but it's all good. It's all good. We gonna move on. So we move immediately into the castle, and we see Yamato sitting up on top, starving. And Hiyori goes up to Momonosuke. It's like, hey, Momonosuke, Yamato, Luffy, and Zoro woke up. And they're both, it's like, it feels so good. It feels like old One Piece, where everything's not as serious. The stakes aren't high anymore. Zoro's being a fool. Luffy's being a fool. Zoro's not like freaking sleeping or drinking, even though like he's asking for booze. But like he's acting a fool, you know? Like he can be silly in this area. in this part of the chapter, and we see the wholeheartedness of everyone. Yamato's hugging Luffy. We see Chopper hugging Zoro, just like while they're eating, trying to drink, and then they reveal who Momonosuke is, or what he looks like now, to them, and they're like, yo, what? And they keep trying to check him, like, yo, fight me real quick, bro. Yo, he might be strong now. Yo, hold up. It's like, yeah, he tough now, because he goes up to Nami and he does the thing with Nami, and that happens. He gets punched, but yes, I have to show that he's ate somehow, I guess. It's freaking, it's whatever. I will say though, Sanji and Brook laughing at him is hilarious for that. It just looks weird to me. I'm not mad at it. I understand it. It just looks weird seeing it happen, of course. Which is the point, I guess. And then we move. We see everyone being jolly. They see Yamato putting plates on Momonosuke's heads. Like, yo, look, it's Oden. We see that, yo, Momo is low-key, like, strong. Like, nothing's hurting him. He gets kicked in the face by his sister. It's not hurting him anymore. Nami punching him dead in his face is not hurting him anymore. And everybody else is acknowledging him. Yamato as well. He's like, there's like, you should thank your parents for giving you such a strong body. I think that definitely speaks to what he might become if he actually does get some training in, if he actually does try to get invested in becoming an actual warrior. And so we see Nami's asking Yamato to take a bath, and we reveal that Yamato swore not to eat or bathe, went on a whole vigil until the two of them recovered, until Zoro and Luffy finally woke up. And now she's like, he is stuffing his face. That's why he was starving on top of the tower. That's the little reveal. And we see everybody's like, yo, that's amazing. Thank you for doing that. Like, what a good person. Even Jinbei's like, oh, wow, that's nice. And we see Zoro fighting with Sanji. We move on piece by piece, And the funny, not funny, but like, I see what he did there. I see what Oda did there. Because Yamato's like, the castle doesn't have mixed baths, so I'm a pass. And then Kiku is like, I'll join if you're okay with that. So I don't know if I need to say full out what that means there, but I think it is definitive at this point that Yamato not only thinks of herself or himself as Oden, but they do think of themselves as a male. So that's pretty cool. We were I feel like the community was really on the fence about whether or not they saw themselves as male or whether or not they saw themselves as Oden specifically, because Oden is dead and gone, and a lot of viewers didn't want somebody who was stuck in the past to join Luffy's crew. But I think that's just how Yamato was raised at this point. I think they just see themselves as male no matter what. And literally, like, I don't know why we had so much of that doubt when Kaido was literally calling them his son. So that's what he identifies as. We know at this point. So they all go into the bath. Sanji's nose is bleeding profusely. Brook is like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Because Yamato's bathing with the boys. And then we see Kiku bathing with the girls. It's dope. Inclusion. But that's pretty cool. Everybody's having a fun time. Where's Robin? I don't know. But we'll move on. The banquet is being held today to celebrate the return of the Kozuki clan. Everybody's having fun in the city. Everybody's cheerful. You see in Tokage Port, we see all of the ships next to each other. We see the Straw Hats. We see Kid, I believe that's Kid's ship. And then we see Law's ship next to his. And we have everything in shape. Everything's looking good. We see Usopp and Frankie fixing everything together. I think they also worked on the General Frankie as well. And we see Killer and Beppo just fawning over General Frankie which is just hilarious. Like Beppo, I expected, but even Killer is just like, wow, are you serious? And then we see Kid saying, don't get too buddy-buddy. We can't let our guards down. And that is when Apu comes in, dropping the updated news coup with like the updated newspaper with updated bounties and names of those who have been newly dubbed Emperors of the Sea. And let's just take a second to talk about that. I felt at first that was an easy answer. Felt like it was just gonna be Law and Kid, new emperors. Because you have to think, Luffy is already considered the 5th. So Kaido and Big Mom are down. Only 2 to replace those were the 2 that stopped Big Mom, obviously. So Kid and Law. But I was actually recently chilling in one of the streams, I think it was Sensei's stream, where they were talking about how it doesn't have to necessarily be Law or Kid. Somebody brought up the great idea that it could be Boa that becomes one of the Emperors of the Sea now that the Shichibukai system is now down. And I vibe with that very heavily now. We see like a lot of potential emperors just through the removal of the warlord system. Hancock has never missed, low key. Like, she's never had like a high difficulty fight. She's always just been at the top of her game. And I think that if she were to become an emperor, it would make a lot of sense. This isn't my idea, right? Somebody in Sisei's stream said it, but at the same time, it needs to be repeated. We have a whole bunch of different. That could be an entire different topic for another day. I'm going too far in. We gotta move on with the chapter. We'll talk about this in a different video if we go further. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments, and then we'll make that a new video. The next thing we see, somebody flying through into the Wano territory, and we hear Sakazuki. We hear Akainu over the radio. He's like, Kainu says, you're not to do anything unnecessary. Understood, Ryokugyu. So we got Admiral Greenbull flying in. And the last panel, we can see like what looks like a spinning flower attached to his back. And he's like, oh, I get it. I know I'm not going to do anything crazy. And that's all we get. So one, it confirms a lot of people's speculation that he has some kind of plant-related fruit, because he said he didn't eat for 3 years, which might also be a vigil going into what Yamato did. He might be on a fast for a specific reason, and then the fact that he had his devil fruit made it so that eating probably was a hassle for him, since he could probably photosynthesize with his plant devil fruit. But he's here now. For some reason, probably to capture Robin. We don't know where Robin is at this point. However, everyone's having a good time. We see everybody in the bath. We see everybody chilling, rebuilding the ships, getting everything back together, just fixing everything up. So, I don't think Robin's in too much danger. I think Robin is probably looking for the World Poneglyph, because there is a World Poneglyph on this island. I think we will see her during the next chapter. We might see Green Bull try an attempt to capture her. That is what I am a little bit fearful of. But other than that, I think she's safe, man. For now, I think she's safe. I don't think we're gonna go through a whole Enies Lobby 2.0. I think they'll try, but if anything, I don't think they'll succeed. I think some reveals are definitely going to be going down. We have new updated bounties for sure. We have new Emperors of the Sea. It can be literally anyone. We have a town that's restored, essentially. We have a nation that's restored. We have a closed off borders. We don't know when we'll open those borders back up. We don't know where Robin is, but like I said, I think she's okay. We don't know what Green Bull is going to be there for. So while it could be to attempt to capture Robin, it could also be to just drop some info. He could be like a crazy info dump for the fans. And I don't know how. Whatever it comes out, whatever comes out of him being there, I'm all here for it. Unless somebody on the Straw Hat stops. I don't think that'll happen. If it does happen, I'll be sad. I'm gonna be crying in the club. But we got a lot to think about. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. If you like what you saw, let me know. We'll do more of these for sure. If not, then we know what's going to happen. But that's it for my rant. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.